guys, and welcome back to Opal and Mint. I am Ashley and welcome back to Watercolor Blooms. This is a series on our channel where we paint watercolor florals every single week. We keep them quick, simple, beginner friendly, and we're gonna go back to the birth month flower. I know that I didn't do July, August. I kind of did August because I did do a poppy. It just happened to be by accident. But today we're gonna do the Aster flower. This one is going to be very easy, simple. It's a daisy-like flower. I'm also gonna do a little bit of a background to this one. So not sure exactly what I'm doing. Just gonna kind of go with the flow. It's what I always do. But today I'm gonna be using my Emily Grace palettes, watercolors. We came out with a collection of 6 colors. They're these right here. So I'm gonna use them in action today. I don't know if I'll get to use every single color, but we might try to use them all. So let's go ahead and turn the camera around and start painting some beautiful asters. All right, so here are the Emily Grace palettes, watercolors that I have. This is the set I already owned. This is her Opal set, and then this is her Opal and Mint set by us. So we have, in case you missed the launch video, we have Please Don't Leaf, Blobs of Color, Dragon Scales. This is Anyways, and It's a Curved Cone, and then Opal and Mint. So the reason behind all these names is in that video, but if you want to get your own set, you can head to Emily Grace Palettes on Etsy. But let's go ahead and dive in. So for this one, I'm gonna do kind of a blurry blue background using our Dragon Scales paint. So we're gonna start with the background, and I'm just sloshing paint all over this. Kind of just gonna put a little bit of this all over. So this paint does granulate. It separates into some really, really beautiful colors. So we're just going to kind of let it do its thing. And I am gonna have to let this dry before we go on to the flowers, but I just wanna get kind of a nice, soft, blue, purple, green kind of background. This separates into so many fun colors. So I'm just gonna play around with this background here. Just until I am happy with the way it looks. And I think that's where I want to leave it. So I'm going to let this dry. This might take a little bit, but I'm going to let this dry before I go into the asters. You can dry it with like a hair dryer or heat gun. Granulating paints usually separate better if you let them dry naturally. They have the time to like sink into the page. So I am going to let this dry. By the way, this was an Escoda brush size 10. And I'm going to put that one down because we're going to use a really thin brush to do the actual flowers. All right, so this is dry. It's still slightly cool and damp on the edge, but we're going to be mostly in the center. I'm going to take my Tintoretto travel brush size 4. When I want some nice fine details or thin petals, this is the brush that I go to. So like always, when I paint a daisy-like flower, I start with the center. So I'm going to start with our yellow shade called It's a Curved Cone. And I'm just going to put some centers around here. Do I want to do this like I usually do, or? Yeah. Okay. So if you keep your background fairly light, you should be able to go over it with a yellow like this. This particular yellow does have a little bit of opacity to it, so that helps. But as long as your background isn't too deep, you should be able to paint on top of it just fine. All right, so we have some little dots now. Asters are, for the most part, purple. But I'm going to go back and forth between the purple and pink. So Blobs of Color and Anyways. And we're just going to start putting in some needle-like petals. These are really thin petals. So Let's mix a little bit of anyways here. And we're just gonna pull little petals out. My center bled into my petals quite a lot, so I'm pushing this back. If you don't want it to bleed, wait till it's dry. But I'm just going to tap a little bit more yellow. That one's just going to be kind of blended a little bit. But so I'm taking a little bit of both of these colors. On this next one, have a little bit of color variation. Trying not to really touch the center on this one. Rinse out my brush some so I have some lighter petals. Just going around that center, putting in little thin brush strokes, filling it out like so. Right, I'm going to take just the blobs of color on this one. And after these dry, I might go on top with a few more petals as well, but just go around on all of them and fill in your petals. This one I'm having face a little bit different. It has a dome shape on top, so we're gonna have this one kind of side view a little bit. Cute. All right, I'm going to do a couple that are just side facing. So I'm just going to go like this. They're all coming to a point here. Do one coming up here. Maybe one drooping down this way. Okay. I might add a few more petals after those dry, but let's go into our green. This is Please Don't Leave. And we're just gonna go ahead and start putting in some stems. I want to make these pretty thin and wispy looking. Just nice and light. I love this green. I missed one. Whoops, I need to fill that in. Hold on. How did I miss this? Okay. Right. There's that. I think I'm just gonna put in some little thin looking leaves. I don't want to do too bulky on the leaves, so just put in a few little strokes coming out here. Yeah, like that. Just keep it light and airy and wispy on this. Okay, just like that. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and go back into my yellow. We're gonna try to add a little bit extra on some of these centers. We may have lost it a little. Okay. All right, then I'm just gonna go back in and just put in a couple of darker petals, and then we'll wrap this one up. Just adding in some kind of shadows, deeper moments in these petals. Keep it simple. Okay, I know I said I was done, but how can I not use our Opal and Mint shade? So let me wet this real quick. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of this on top of some of the greenery, just so we include some shimmer. So I'm just gonna take it and kind of glaze it on top of some of these leaves. Maybe even put in a couple of extra wispies with this. All right, so there is this week's watercolor blooms. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did get our set of paints with Emily Grace, thank you so much. And I hope that you're enjoying them. But we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much as always for watching. But if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you wanna see our future videos, hit that subscribe button down below. And we'll see you again next time. Bye. Why is my printer making noises while I'm filming? I don't know. But today we're gonna be doing the Aster. Why? I'm also gonna do a